I'm Ron Riddell and my son Travis, and we've been farming on this farm since 1987.
We've been in this barn for almost 5 years now. 2 robots, sand-bedded, freestall, and flush barn.
We're the same as most traditional barns now, where we use a plate cooler to help with cooling on our milk, and then we reuse that water for drinking for the cows. This barn is a flush barn, which means we clean our alleys with recycled flush water. So the way that works is every 4 hours a flush valve will pop and we'll clean a single alley, where sand alleys clean more often than that. The water travels to a new manure tank that we built with this barn, and where we suck top water from a raft, a pump that's floating on a raft, and we transfer it to a second manure tank where we suck top water off again, a settling tank, and then the third spot it moves water from there to an old fuel tank, and that's where the storage of flush water stays. So it's a closed loop, and we recycle all the water. So everything in the barn is being used to clean the floors.
So we have water meters for both hot and cold water throughout the entire barn. So we measure everything that's used on from just drinking water alone to each robot, both hot and cold, for either milking, which is cleaning, teat cleaning and things like that, as well as we separate, and we can also tell how much water is used to clean the floor and the robot in general. We also know how much water is used to clean the milk tank every other day, and for circuit cleanings to clean the entire milking system 3 times a day. So what we like about that is we can kind of monitor each one individually and see if there's any abnormalities when we track it. If there are, we'll look at that and see maybe we can address something. For instance, a valve's not working properly on one of the wash valves, and we're using more water than we should. So it kind of helps with early detection as well, just to make sure everything's running well. With the flush valves, we also have sensors that will only allow it to run at certain times of the day. So for example, when we transfer from pit 1 to pit 2, that doesn't have to happen every day, and we can set it up so that it will only work during off-peak hours when electricity usage is cheaper. So we kind of have that in mind. Also, there's ultrasonic sensors to control the tank levels. So like again, it doesn't have to run every day, and it will only run when required, when it's the most cost effective. So
we transfer approximately 800,000 gallons per week from pit 1 to pit 2 that's used for flush cleaning of the barn. So it's fairly substantial, so we're very conscious of when that transfer takes place. Well, water is a precious resource, and I think everyone needs to maintain a focus of keeping clean water clean. I don't know, what would you say?
Yeah, I'd say I think in southwestern Ontario, with the Great Lakes so close, we maybe feel like we can take it for granted. Whereas if you read in different articles, a lot of dairy farmers, especially in California, are having a lot of trouble now with making sure they can get enough water for their herds and so on. Water rights is a big deal there. In southwestern Ontario, we haven't really seen that yet. So I think being proactive when it comes to water use and water efficiency is always a good thing, because in the next 10 or 15 years, or maybe more than that, we don't know what it'll be like, but it's always better to be more efficient and proactive, especially with water, something that everybody uses. So
it tends to take for granted.